My name is Michael Strawser. I'm an assistant professor in the Nicholson School of Communication and Media. I am primarily based at our downtown campus. And in terms of the courses that I teach, I usually do advanced public speaking online, which is the course that I won this award for. I also teach business and professional communication online, which is a really cool course, was always a bucket list for me, where we use episodes of The Office as course content. So I've been teaching online for over a decade, and I mostly fell into it. So I was an online student for a while, and I just really realized during my master's program just how many possibilities it had. And so I really wanted to try to teach online because I just kind of saw the wave. I knew the future. I feel like I knew that a lot of people my age just kind of recognized that we wanted flexibility, autonomy, and I really saw a lot of possibilities with online learning and felt like it had some incredible opportunities to really be an equitable learning environment and to really reach a lot of students that we normally would not reach in terms of our face-to-face classes, and to really utilize technology in ways that we probably were a little bit inhibited in terms of our face-to-face environments. You know, I think the bigger picture in terms of this award, there are so many different resources available at UCF for those faculty members that teach online, and I think anytime that we look at awards for teaching, and especially with online learning, there are so many people that go into making a class excellent and effective. So for me, it felt great to receive the award personally, but I think it also just really helped me kind of reflect on people in CDL and different resources that I've had, my instructional designer who really provided feedback that I heeded because I thought they were really good ideas. So in terms of what I discovered as I went to apply for the award, that this probably isn't going to be good TV, but I think that my course is relatively boring. And what I mean by that is that I tell instructors and professors all the time that really clarity in our courses can solve a lot of teaching ills. I try to provide an experience for my students that's exceptionally clear, that they know exactly what to expect with every module, that they know exactly what to expect in terms of my teaching and my grading, that they know what to expect in terms of my communication with them. I tell a lot of people that I teach public speaking online, and they go, how do you do that? And usually it's communication faculty who kind of don't necessarily see the bigger picture and kind of say, well, we have to teach public speaking in a face-to-face environment. We can't do this online. And it was helpful for me to hear from colleagues outside of my discipline saying, oh, this is great. Like, this is a great way to teach public speaking. We're reducing communication apprehension and how our students interact on camera, things that we need today in a modern, 21st century work environment. And so it was really helpful for me to kind of step back and go, okay, there's a lot of different things that I'm doing that are applicable for advanced public speaking online, but also that can be tailored to different disciplines and really help our students from a variety of perspectives, position themselves to be just effective communicators in a digital world. As I look at the instructional tools specifically that I use, I'm pretty picky. And that was one thing when I was an instructional designer, I would always encourage professors, be purposeful with the technology that you use, right? Just because it's new, just because it's fun, doesn't mean we have to use it. We have to really step back and think about our learning objectives and how are we using that educational technology to tailor to our learning objectives. There are a couple different tools specifically that I use throughout that I think were really helpful and that I think will continue to be part of my toolbox. So the first, and I think this is probably one of the coolest things that I've done with this particular course, but there's a virtual reality speaking platform online called Ovation, which basically allows individuals to transport themselves into a VR reality and give a speech. And so you can see real-time audience interaction. You can kind of tell, they even have audience members who will get on their phones and pretend to be distracted if they can kind of, notice different tonal elements of your voice. And I think my students love that. I also use Materia. I like to gamify when I can. So this is an advanced public speaking class, and because of that, I need to make sure that all of my students are on the same level in terms of those fundamentals. As I think about teaching future courses, especially teaching online courses in the future, I do think that our students generally want to know what teachers expect. So obviously clarity, all of that good kind of stuff. For me, I like to fail well with educational technology, so I don't necessarily like to do a lot of things all at once, but we'll kind of piecemeal it and try something, and if it works, I'll kind of keep it in the repertoire. I try to provide a lot of data, so I do pre and post tests in all of my courses, no matter what course that I teach. And so basically it's the same questionnaire at the beginning and at the end of the semester to see really what have my students learned. And so they have multiple choice questions and different open-ended questions that really allow me to kind of track their learning. And it was amazing how many students said that this class in particular made them feel more comfortable, more confident, more competent. And I just love that. So I think anything that I can do to continue to give students an opportunity to kind of breathe deeply, get feedback in a safe environment, and then really try to build up that public speaking skill is really helpful. But really, I think that's my goal, is how can I unlock the potential of each individual student that I have and meet them where they are.